Also ahead.
You always have a hope, but miracles do happen, and this is kind of a miracle.
Who gets to say they're behind the scenes at the airport? I mean, that's been pretty cool.
A triumph on the tarmac coming up in our Sunday morning spotlight. A young Milwaukee man with autism who followed his passion for planes soars to new heights, thanks in part to a successful school-to-work partnership. One of the key partners is Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin. We'll show you how a little later. But first, Tuesday is the United Nations World Autism Awareness Day. The theme of this 12th annual observance is Assistive Technologies, Active Participation. This morning, we revisit a young man with autism who's benefited not only from technology, but the support of family, friends, and partnerships, helping him break down barriers and become an active participant in the field of aviation. Anthony Giannopoulos is our Sunday morning spotlight.
I've always been in love with airplanes and traveling.
For as long as he can remember, Anthony Giannopoulos has been fascinated with flight.
When I was 3 years old, I wanted to come to the airport, and then my parents would take me to the airport and just watch the planes come in.
Anthony quickly moved beyond the words, "Look, there's a plane," to rattling off the make and model of every aircraft he saw.
The 737, the Airbus A320, A319.
Fueled by trips to flight museums, the EAA, and participation in various youth aviation programs, the fascination grew into a passion, which bolstered his confidence and desire to pursue a dream.
I always had a dream of working at the airport and working with airplanes.
That dream was realized last summer when Anthony was hired by Quantum Aviation Services.
We unload the cargo from the truck that comes, and then we load it onto the plane.
This 22-year-old operates a K-loader or pallet jack to load cargo onto planes at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. He also serves as a wing walker, guiding in DHL cargo planes with lighted batons in hand. Anthony's father, Mark Giannopoulos.
You always have a hope, but miracles do happen, and this is kind of a miracle.
Yes.
Mark and his wife Shawn adopted Anthony from Russia when he was just 14 months old. Although he hadn't been diagnosed, they sensed Anthony was on the autism spectrum.
We saw signs with the videotape they sent us before we went there, but we realized that he'd be better off here, and we can provide him services and assistance. And when he looked into our eyes and he smiled and giggled, we knew he was ours.
All right, Anthony, here is your boarding pass.
CBS 58 Sunday Morning first introduced Mark and Anthony at Mitchell Airport 3 years ago. Going through security.
There you go. Go ahead and put it right in here, okay?
And boarding a plane as part of Wings for Autism, Wings for All.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Delta's flight.
An airport rehearsal program designed to alleviate the stress that families who have a child with autism or intellectual and developmental disabilities experience when flying. It was clear then that Anthony already had his sights set on a career in aviation.
Become a dispatcher or a crash site investigator.
Anthony immersed himself in all things aviation, reading flight manuals, crash reports, taking online courses through an aeronautical university, and sharpening his flying skills on various commercial aircraft with this home-based flight simulator.
I spend on my flight simulator about 40 hours a week on it.
He collects planes like we used to collect baseball cards on his flight simulator. He actually taught flight simulation at Civil Air Patrol for 2 years. He was the main instructor for Timmerman Field Civil Air Patrol.
Anthony is also Facebook friends with Delta Airlines Captain Glenn Cook. The two shared a memorable cockpit conversation during a chance encounter on board Anthony's favorite aircraft, a Boeing 777.
It was just a coincidence when I met him in Paris. I said, "I'm Anthony, we're friends on Facebook," and then he immediately recognized me.
He was a little like, "You're his dad? I didn't know he had autism. I didn't know any of this." And then he said, "I'm going to do the pre-flight checklist with him And I said, can you do that, Anthony? And Glenn Cook said, he knows the MDL, which is, I didn't know what an MDL was. It's the computer. He goes, he knows it as good as I do.
A new opportunity arose when Project Search launched its first airport base site here at Mitchell International. Anthony was quick to enroll in the successful school-to-work transition program for young adults with disabilities.
What's your favorite task, Anthony?
Sarah Block is a Project Search job developer with Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin. She was Anthony's skills trainer during the 9-month program that allows interns to rotate between 3 different jobs.
They also go through an orientation where they focus on job readiness primarily, and then throughout the year they do mock interviews, participate in on-the-job training, and they have a training room period where they do some classroom work as well.
It got me learning a lot about like job and how to act and do on the job. Mm-hmm.
What it gave him is it gave him the opportunity and the soft skills that he needed to be a good employee. He had rotations here at the airport, and he realized things that he really wanted to do, and he realized things that he really didn't want to do. But as long as he was at the airport, he calls it his happy place.
What Anthony really wanted was to be around planes. He earned that opportunity last July with Quantum Aviation Services. Paul Sprangers is the business area manager for Quantum.
Anthony's been great. He's always helpful. He's here on time. I know I can count on him to be here every day. One of our employees has kind of taken him under her wing and help guide him and be an on-site mentor for him.
It's nice working with Anthony.
That mentor is Nilda Vasquez.
He gets along with everyone. He's real helpful. He likes to help everybody.
Sarah Block now serves as Anthony's job coach.
I only check in really once a month now with him, so that's been the biggest improvement, is that independence. To see it behind the scenes, I mean, that's a dream come true. So to watch that dream come true, it's really been fun.
There is no way he would have been successful in getting these positions without Project Search.
It is here at his happy place that Anthony is building on his successes and holding on to that dream of someday becoming an aircraft dispatcher.
Not to be like corny or anything, but the sky's the limit with Anthony for sure, because he just pushes himself to that next level.
Go to CBS.